Yeah, I don't know, Jordan. I don't think that we should call it the Chinese flu. I don't know why you would say that.
He suggested tongue flu.
Well, we should definitely circle back around to what you were just saying about Amelia Earhart and women's rights, because I think the people really need to know.
We went over this last week.
Pro women's rights.
You said you wanted to end suffrage.
I
don't know what that means, guys. I don't. What's up?
Means I'm more like you, Jake.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, this is just for the YouTubers, but we'll get into the podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Writer and the Fighter. I am your co-host David Golden from OregonSportsNews.com, joined by your other co-host Jake the Half Black Attack Smith from Bellator MMA and American Top Team Portland, and from a street with at least 2 Pittsburgh Steelers fans on it. What up, dude?
Yo. And let's not even introduce him.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm not sensitive. My feelings aren't hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has we've broadened our horizons. We've brought in a third person to the podcast, not as a co-host, but as a guest. And that is Jordan Gunther from On Target Training, McConnell's Boxing Academy, and American Top Team Portland. What up, my man?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Did you like your finger guns or what?
No, those are perfect. That's what we have to do now. We're not allowed to shake hands. Finger guns only.
Oh yeah,
Dave. I feel like you should add stuff to your intro, because I got a bunch of shit you say. Jordan just had a bunch of shit, and then there's just hey, I'm David Golden, and then here's everyone else that does stuff. It's
the titles are meaningless to me. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. I don't need special introductions. I could call myself all kinds of terrible things and nobody would care.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you got a point.
No
one would care if you said terrible things about yourself.
My wife might, but
Yeah.
She doesn't count.
No. She's only one of a dozen listeners, so.
Yeah.
She's only 12%. Is it 12%? I don't know.
Well, she's
1/12.
1/12. I don't know what the percentage is on that. I'm not a math guy.
8 1/4.
There you go, math guy. That's why we brought him in.
Yeah, don't
He's
check
a
that,
math
though.
guy.
That's probably wrong.
Well, the reason we brought in Jordan actually is a little bit about math, because Jordan heard Jake and I talking about weight on either the last episode or the one before that, and he sent me a text message and said, "Hear me out. I've got an idea. What if you really hustle and lose enough weight that you weigh less than Jake, and then you can rip on him for being overweight?" And I was like, "Why? I'll never be thinner than Jake. It'll never happen. 2, I don't need to be thinner than Jake to rip on him, but I do like the idea of being a little less rotund." And so we all started texting back and forth in a little group chat, and somebody came up with the bright idea to do a weight loss / weight gain challenge.
Yeah.
Whose idea was this? Was this Jordan's idea? You seem like the most motivated.
No, I think it was actually Jake's.
Lies.
It's me, dude. I was actually really hopped up on caffeine when I came up with the idea, and I was really motivated. I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get my shit together. I'm doing these stretches every day. My hip is feeling great. I'm gonna fucking get my shit together, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna rope these 2 assholes in with me. I roped you guys into it. Now I'm going, I don't want to do this, but we're here.
It's pretty funny that caffeine gets you hyped up on your ideas. I just let you know you should never do speed.
Yeah.
If caffeine makes you think things are a good idea, just stay away from meth. It's the last thing you ever need.
End up married to a guy who owns tigers.
Yeah. You guys both seen that? Finished it?
Oh,
no, I haven't watched a single episode yet.
Dude.
Oh, dude, you got to get on there.
Yeah, don't be one of those guys who's like, "Oh, it's so popular, you better not watch it." Just watch it.
No, you know, I'm the documentary guy. I love docuseries, man. I'm all about it. I just don't have the time, and I kind of want to watch it with my wife. It's one that I know she would also enjoy, and so I was like, we're kind of trying to hold out hope that we could watch it together. But my kid has decided he only wants to sleep for 30 to 34 minutes at nap time. So yeah, now that he's one, why would he want to sleep? So, you know.
You guys don't have like 1 hour a night, just 1 hour. Hey, this is our show. We're gonna watch it.
You would think so, but due to the very structured routine of our life, not really.
Okay.
Maybe when we move him into his own room and bedtime is a little more well established, we'll be able to do that. Like right now, it's kind of like we're trying to figure out where he needs to sleep. So it's a little tricky. And if the wife doesn't go to sleep when he goes to sleep, then she doesn't have time to wake up early to exercise and stuff. Just
Wow.
just to bring it back to exercise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to bring us away from exercising, I find it funny. Is the other day, Jordan, you were saying how easy it is, or how much easier it is to raise a kid than everyone says, and then Dave immediately was like, "Fuck that! It's way harder than what people say."
Well, he's a better parent. That's the difference. He's just
Oh,
doing
I
a
don't
better
know about
job.
that. I don't know about that.
Your daughter, she is adorable. Like when I showed up that day to go work out with you, and she's like, Jordan Gunther. I was like, yeah, that's your dad. Oh, man.
That's the guy.
Too good.
She's a good kid.
I literally came home and I was telling Mixley, I was like, I don't think having a daughter might not be so bad. I'll think, but then
The first like 10, 12 years, those are like the easier years with a little girl, and then it gets fucking hard and crazy. With like little boys, it's kind of the opposite, They're just hell on wheels for the first half, and then the second half you can kind of take it a little bit easier,
No.
Man, I don't know. I feel like boys are trouble from birth to like 25.
Yeah,
I guess that's true.
I think I'm just gonna stick with the dog.
Yeah,
works out pretty good.
Yeah.
And I get to decide how long I want to deal with this thing, Like, I want to keep it around for 9 years, 8 years. I don't know. Maybe I'm like, fuck this. I'm out 3 years. What happened? I broke a nail.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think parenting is hard. It's not impossible, but it's hard. It's just. But like I said, my kid was colicky when he was born, so there were days where he just cried for like 6-7 hours straight, nonstop. Nothing you could do to console him, and I
Sarah
didn't really.
had to deal with that the whole time, huh?
We both did. I mean, I was home when this was happening for a lot of it, man. I mean, it was, or like she'd be home with him, he'd be crying the whole day. I'd get home, she'd just hand him to me, and he'd be crying with me for the rest of the night. And then,
Dave,
I took the first half of the night, she took the second half of the night. It was the whole thing.
Dave, I just set you up with a fucking alley-oop to praise your wife and how great she did and all these things. And instead, you're like, oh no, I was there. I did, I had to deal with the script. Hey, man, sometimes you got to take these lobs because she listens. I'm going, you know what? Let's show her some love and appreciation. And here you, God damn it, dude.
I guess that's the way of looking at it. I hadn't apparently I didn't hear it that way. I'm sorry, but she knows. I let her know all the time that I couldn't do it without her. But it's not super easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's super challenging. Like right now he has like pretty bad separation anxiety. So like when I take him to school and I drop him off at school, he like just bawls his eyes out for like a minute. When I let him go, they close the door. By the time by the time I'm out the door and back to the car, like he's done crying. But it's like you would have thought I just like, I was like, I'm never gonna see you again. Here you go. Just throw him to the wolves. That's what you would think. But it's crazy because he was never like that. And then just suddenly, just out of the blue, he was just like, nope, not into this anymore. So I don't know.
It'll pass, man. I've got a video when my kid was in kindergarten, very first day, waiting with her at the bus stop. Bus pulls up, man. and she like gave me like a half-hearted like side hug and like took off and just like up the big stairs onto the bus, went and sat down, didn't look back, didn't look out the window at me, just nothing. Like, fuck that guy. Just gone, man. I'm like, I'm trying not to cry, and she's just like, all right, hey, who's this? My new best friend? All right, cool. Right. My feelings were hurt.
Hey, stranger, where we going?
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh man, nobody tells you how many kids will break your heart, man. It's
I bet.
You get home from a long day, and that 3-year-old's gonna look at you, and you go to pick them up. They're like, nah, I need some space, Dad.
Right.
Fuck me, I'm going back to work, I guess.
My kid already does that kind of thing, and he's only 1. Like, he does this thing where he leans in like he's going to give you a kiss. You go to kiss him, and he turns away. He's just doing it. He's just doing it to get you to pick him up. Like, whatever.
Your baby's a dick.
I was very anti-affectionate child. Like, I used to fake being hurt. Like, my aunts and stuff or whoever want to give me a hug. I'm like, I can't. My arm hurts. Can't. Or like, they'd be like, Jake, give me a kiss. Like, I can't. I hurt my leg. And I'll just like walk away. Like, yeah.
My poor kid is screwed, man. We like hug him and kiss him all the time. We're like, this poor kid's gonna have a complex. We tell him we love him constantly. I feel like he's gonna hate me. Like, I'll give him a couple of years.
It's not gonna change anything. Like, my dad's the same way. Very affectionate, huggy, lovey-dovey, fucking all that sappy shit. And I'm nope, want no part of it, man.
Yeah.
For me.
That's so funny. That is too funny. Well,
he's gonna be who he's gonna be,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. True. He's gonna be who he's gonna be. There's no doubt about that. So what not to get away from talking about kids. What's that?
Speaking of weight, how about we lose some baby weight?
Hey, there it is. I was gonna say we gotta circle back around and tell the fan, I would say fans plural, but
no, I like that.
You gotta tell the fan, you gotta tell dude, it's Dave's buddy,
Kyle,
yeah, tell Kyle what we're doing here.
Hey, Kyle.
Kyle would want a piece of this. Kyle would want a piece of this because Kyle's put on some weight.
Yeah.
There was a minute there where he was working out like crazy, lost a bunch of weight. Then he settled in with his girlfriend, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, many a good man.
But yeah, man. So what are the parameters? What are we doing here? So Jordan doesn't need to lose weight. Jordan's never needed to lose weight in his life. He's been skinny. He came out to dang skinny. He's been skinny from day one. So we're gonna try to make him gain muscles. We're gonna get him. Yeah. We're gonna get him yoked.
Try and do something with him.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and we're gonna plump him up. We're gonna put him on the Smitty diet. Is what's gonna happen. And so essentially, me and you, we're just like, hey, we're being fat fucks. We need to stop it. Quarantine and all that shit. Let's lose some weight. So pretty self-explanatory for me and Dave, strictly weight loss, right? For Jordan, though, since it's a lot harder to put on weight. So what I came up with.
Thank you.
Well, it is. It's fucking hard. Is for every pound he gains, it counts as for every 7 pounds we lose. Right? So does that make sense? So if he gains, 3 pounds, that's the equivalent of us or one of us losing 21 pounds. So he gets basically 21 points, right?
Yep. And you guys are a team, so it's 7 together. Is that right? Or 7?
No, 7 each. So
7 each.
I lose 7 pounds, right? That's considered, 7 points or whatever.
Yeah.
Every pound I lose, 7. Every point you get, or every pound you gain, that's a point. 7 points.
Got it.
Get it? Got it.
So we're doing it on a point basis.
Well, I mean, that just kind of happened right now, but I figured that's the easiest way to fucking,
Okay, so we're going on touchdown with extra point. That's what we're doing here.
Sure. There you go.
And you like, you guys are at a disadvantage because I'm way fatter than Jake. So I'll, if I work hard, I could lose 15 pounds quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it is true that like you've got the advantage of that. If you just quit soda, there goes, like you were saying, 15 pounds. But Jake's got the advantage of where he's done this. I don't know how many times, like a dozen.
Yeah, I mean, no, hundreds of times.
Yeah.
So I mean, also here, I need to. I'll spring something on you guys a little bit later. I'll drop some news later. So yeah, okay. So you think basically, Dave, you're gonna have the advantage here, right? Because you think you're gonna lose the most, right? Jordan,
yeah, for sure.
You're kind of the most fucked, honestly,
Yep.
right? But here's the thing: is that where I look like the least favorite in this because I'm moderately in decent shape. I got some things to work with, but what I got you guys all beat on is I'm a fucking athlete, and athletes don't lose. Do whatever it takes to win.
That's true.
I was once an athlete.
What do you consider your how?
How? I mean, I played baseball. I played
Like
soccer. I wrestled.
On a team?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
I
I was
played.
going to say that you went to jiu-jitsu practice. Like, that doesn't count.
No, that doesn't count. No, that doesn't count.
You had to actually.
Yeah, no, man. I wrestled for like 5 years. I did all kinds of sports. I loved sports, and then I got to high school, and I was like, I was gonna play football, so I played football for like a month, and then all my friends were riding skateboards, smoking weed, and hanging out with girls, and I was like, that sounds better than football practice.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I quit playing football, and I got into recreational drug use and riding skateboards and having a good time. And I was like, man, practice was lame. Why was I doing that? And then I thought about going back and playing baseball. Like I really did, but I just couldn't fathom committing that much time to it. Like once I was there, I was over it. I'd much rather go ride my skateboard, hang out with my friends, party. But
you got before.
Yeah, I've had a couple fights. I did 2 boxing matches and an MMA fight. So
I guess you're kind of an athlete.
Yeah, when same thing. I played sports, my whole childhood, and then same thing though. High school rolled around and drinking beer, playing Nintendo, and riding a skateboard was way more fun. So
way more fun.
Still is, man. I was out doing kickflips every day.
It's hilarious, is because I'm the complete opposite of you guys, right?
Yep.
High school and all that stuff. I was a fat fuck, but I was very dedicated. I wasn't partying. I didn't drink. I didn't do shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a nerd.
I'm an actual professional athlete. All I want to do is sit around and play fucking video games and fucking and yank on my pud,
Yeah.
I don't want to go fucking practice anymore. I'm over it.
It just took you longer to figure it out. That's all.
It sure did. And I tell you, man, if I would have found all the things that I'm into now earlier, I would have been a fucking deadbeat out on the street for sure.
Oh yeah.
I have issues.
I'm convinced the reason I didn't get taller is because I stopped competing in competitive team sports as a kid. Once I gave up on sports, that was the end of my my growing. I don't know what happened.
But it's like there's no need for any more length than you.
Well, when you're playing sports, like if you play sports year round, like you're exercising all the time, you're always hungry. You're eating as much as you can, and then you just bigger, stronger, faster. And like when you're not doing that and you're getting high and eating cereal, you're not getting bigger, you're just getting fatter.
Oh, serious.
So but when I was a teenager, getting high and eating cereal was about the best thing that you could offer me. So that was
it's still pretty good. Like, it's not bad. I've got a good friend that she and her husband, once a week, they get stoned out of their head and then each just like destroy like a box of like sugary breakfast cereal.
Is that like a cheat type thing?
It's like a what thing?
Like a cheat meal?
No, I mean they're not super into like physical fitness anyway. They just do it once a week.
That's just Sunday for them.
Yeah.
See, when you said that, I was thinking, like, oh, this must be like a client he works out with, and they just happen to be like, oh yeah, and then when we have our our cheat meal, we eat no, that's just their life.
Yeah, well, like the dude can power lift, so like I don't know if you've ever met or hung out with power lifters, but they don't mess around. They don't diet, they just eat.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she boxes a little bit with me once in a while, but, you know, like I was telling you guys earlier, man, you know, or I was talking to Dave about, like, exercise will burn a couple hundred calories. That's a can of soda, you know, like you can go run a couple miles or have a soda. So, you know, exercise is important, man, but just food will get you. So and that's, you know, where I'm having to like try to force myself to eat more, especially not since I'm not working. Like my appetite just dropped away. So I've almost killed like a gallon of milk. I'm like, you know, in like 2 or 3 days, like eating rice. I mean, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm forcing myself to eat, man.
See, here's the thing, right? I feel like you're eating like things that you think are very like calorically dense, but they're fucking not.
Yeah.
How much rice can you eat and be like, oh, well, I'm full? Maybe 2 cups of rice.
Yeah.
How many calories do you think is in 2 cups of rice?
That's fair, but I mean, there's like, shit, it was chicken. It wasn't even red meat. No,
Oh,
you're right. I guess
chicken. Awesome. I ate 6 ounces of chicken. Got about 200 calories in.
It's no good, man. It's no good.
See, this is where I need you guys.
I told you exactly what to do. You go the fucking anti-keto diet. You go high fat, high carb, fucking high protein. Everything's gonna be high. Everything.
I'm crushing my way through a jar of peanut butter, like the sugary Jif peanut butter too, not the healthy hippie stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Get in there and eat that. Go buy a bag of avocados.
Yeah. Every two tablespoons is 190 calories, man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wait, an avocado?
No.
Peanut butter. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Well, avocado is like a good high healthy fat, man, and it's good for you. It'll help you. You know, it'll help you in your gain.
I truly do not believe that it matters what the fuck you eat. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really think it's just calories, man.
You know, when I'm working, like if I've got a busy day at the gym and I'm hustling mitts, you know, and if I mean you guys, you know, Jake's worked with me and David's seen some of the videos, like I've got like a really like high energy style of mitt work where I'm dying and sweating too. Like I'll eat 3,000 or 4,000 calories on a busy day and just not even like it's nothing, you know. So I think, and it's just like go down to the, you know, Jimmy John's and get the like, you know, the big kahuna or whatever, the Chipotle cheesesteak, something like that. Like I look at the menu and decide like how many calories can I get for the cheapest amount, you know?
Dude, every person that's listening to this that's overweight is like, man, I fucking hate this guy. Fuck this guy. Eat whatever he wants.
I'm just saying though, like I've been described twice now by strangers, like, you know, third party, where they're like, oh yeah, do you know Jordan? Oh yeah, that skinny guy over at McConnell. It's like, man, fuck that. I don't want to be the skinny guy. I'm 35. I'm a man. You know?
Thought you say skinny fat, didn't you?
I thought he was gonna say it.
Yeah.
Nope. Just regular skinny. Just that skinny guy.
Yeah, but you were like, you were born with that frame, you know. Like Jake and I were born with like wide hips, big thighs, wide back. You know, you weren't born like this.
No, and
you were born skinny. Your mom probably spit you right out. Like you probably just slid right out the chute. The rest of us, we were slow coming out.
So this is my wife Hattie, by the way.
Oh.
Hey.
Sorry.
I was using that for lights. I don't know how to turn this one on.
15 including us 3.
Yep. No, it's I've and the thing, there we go. The thing that's going to be tough though is like, as soon as I stop eating like an asshole and lifting heavy weights, I'll probably lose 4 or 5 pounds again. Just back to like, this is probably the default, you know?
Well, how long do we do this for? When do we stop?
I was gonna say a month, or we can go through the whole quarantine. Like, I don't know when this shit's gonna get lifted.
No way. We don't know how long this is gonna last. I'm not committing to a full quarantine.
Well, they're saying they're gonna lift it in May, dude.
Yeah.
Huh?
They said they're reopening in May.
No. They said they're for Oregon. They said they are creating a plan to potentially figure out when they're going to reopen. They're just using that as like a looming deadline to make people feel better. They don't fucking know. They don't know anything. If you read anything that says firm date, everything's okay by May 17th, that person's full of shit. tell them to fuck off and wait for the day before. It's just like in Oregon, when people, it's like in the middle of like, the super rainy season. It's like let's say it's February 2nd, and we're standing here, and the fucking weatherman says, huh?
You pick Groundhog's Day.
I don't know what day Groundhog's Day is, bro.
I don't
just picked
either.
early February, right?
Fun fact,
Groundhog's
Day.
Let's say first
Now we know
week
Jake
of February.
doesn't have CTE.
Yep. First week of February, we're like, the weatherman on TV is like, well, look, on Monday, he's like, it's gonna rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It looks like it might start to clear out Thursday. It's gonna be a sunny day on Friday. You tell me you're gonna take that as gospel? You know damn well that from Monday to Friday, shit's gonna change. Like you cannot rely on these people telling you shit. You can't rely on the weather. You can't rely on pandemic shit. For all we know, there's going to be a whole nother big old boost. And I'm not committing to a pandemic long fucking thing. What
All right.
where are we? It's April 14th.
How long would you like to do this for, Dave?
Well, I mean, as long as you guys, I mean, give me like a firm thing. You want to go till let's do the full month of May and now. And so then the first week of June, the first podcast in June, which would be Wednesday, June 3rd. That'll be like our weigh-in day, like our official, like where we end up. June 3rd. Does that work for you, Jake? You mentioned
like
you may, huh?
It's only like 3 weeks.
3 weeks? What are you talking about?
What is it? Oh, we're in April.
14th, bro. That's 3 weeks in April alone. Then you got the whole month of May.
May already.
I mean, that's excusable, man. We've all just lost track.
Well, you were like, oh, Jake doesn't have CT. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe I don't. And then we're doing all this, and I'm looking at my phone, and I'm like, oh, fine. It's still up in the air if I have CTE or not. So I guess this isn't the podcast. We figured it out.
I mean, I think a good 30 days. I mean, it's like a nice square number. It's like 30 days would be good, but we can do 45.
I don't know about 45, man.
Well, that would be May 1st, right?
No, not May 1st. Not May 1st. May 1st would be 21. Yeah, that'd be like a month. Let's do
May 12th.
May 12th.
That's a recording day. That's a Tuesday. That's about a month out. It's a little less than a month.
All right, I can do that.
There you go.
May 12th.
We're not gonna have to do any of those embarrassing photos, like the two shots where like you look at the camera and then you like turn sideways.
I thought about doing like a daily photo, like like against the door in my office or something. Have my wife take the same picture every day for like the whole month, but then I realized nobody wants to look at my fat ass like 30 times. So even if I make it a flip book, nobody needs to see that shit.
See, the problem I have with that is like I there's this little fear in the back of my head of that I may gain weight during this. There's a chance. Like right now I'm motivated, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking crush it. But Smitty in 3 days from now is a very different guy. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, so bear in mind, and this is another opportunity for a segue. But
it's a terrible segue, but keep going.
Yeah, boo.
Bear with me.
We don't do sussa.
Yeah, we whoop whoop whoop.
Well, I'm not trying to bite your style.
You don't listen to Cast. Fucking
but so I'm not the number one fan. You're right.
You said a sport. Should have.
Florida recently decided that sports were essential, right?
Yeah.
So if Uncle Dana can get in there and host an event and have it go well and not get shut down, he set the precedent. Then Bellator can also go to Florida, host fights, and continue making money there. Who knows?
Nah. Scotty Cokes ain't doing that shit. Scotty Cokes is too smart for that.
Also, they're so backed up. They have so many fighters that they'll put on way before me. Like I honestly and generally believe I probably will not fight until October.
But hear me out though.
Or fucking like late summer. Like I want to be ready. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I am prepared mentally and spiritually or whatever the fuck, to fight later.
So think about this though, right? So I was thinking about this because they are going to have that backlog of cards and events and fighters, right? How many of those guys in the 55-pound division aren't going to necessarily be ready? So you're going to have a lot of dudes dropping out. You could have your pick of the litter, man.
Yeah.
It could be, you can see a short notice fight that needs a replacement. And you're like, oh, I'm ready and I can beat the brakes off that guy. Here we go. Oh, hey, what if Dylan Dennis's opponent drops out 170, 165, whatever. And Jake's over here at 205 pounds and he's going, fuck. I can't get down to 170.
How much? 30 pounds? I can cut 30 pounds. 175, that's the weight class he fights at now. He just makes up shit. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Just saying. Don't miss that opportunity.
No, I 100% hear. That was honestly part of the reason why I wanted to do this too. Is just I need to get my walking around weight down, right? Yeah. I've been living the good life, been lifting, been eating, cultivating mass, and now I'm like, I'm fat and slow. Well, I shouldn't say I'm fat, but I'm slow. I feel like I'm slow as shit now. Like that, gotten stronger, but now I feel slow, and that to me is upsetting. So
it's no good.
Yeah, that's like my biggest thing, right? Speed has always been like my biggest, I want to say attribute, but it's what I focused on the most. I always cared more about than I do power.
Yeah.
So now that I'm feeling like, oh shit, I feel like I'm stuck in mud because X, Y, and Z has happened, and now I need to ZYX.
Yeah, well, and you generally have pretty natural power, man. Like you hit hard, right? I mean, that's like you always have. So. Yeah. Some people are just born with the ability to hit really hard. You have it. It's just one of those things,
Yeah. That's, but, the whole point of me, like, lifting, well, first off, who doesn't like to just lift weights and eat food, right? And like, this is the first time where I've actually gotten to do that and not have to worry about like, oh shit, you have to fight in fucking 3 months, right? Mm-hmm. So when I'm lifting weights, the more weights you lift, the more food you're going to want to eat. And then, it's one of those like, I don't know the word, man. CTE set in. But, it's one of those things like, it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. What do you call that?
Bittersweet.
A double-edged sword?
Yeah, both of those. Both of those will work. You guys get me. That's why I like you guys.
We got you.
Well, the exercising and wanting to eat more is always a problem for me because if you're trying to lose weight, you want to be in a calorie deficit, right? Like that's the idea.
Yep.
And I have a hard time with that. Like, and I'm not like I don't typically crave sweets. I crave like savory stuff. Like I want to go eat a slice of pizza, or I want to go eat a cheeseburger, or I want to go eat, I want something delicious and wonderful, and it's not always cake and ice cream and shit. I mean, I love soda, but if I'm working out heavy, I'm way more focused on drinking water just because I sweat really easy, so I always need to rehydrate. But like, man, when I work, like if I'm really, really working out, like if I'm really going for it, I'm fucking hungry all the time. And like that, for me, that'll be the hardest part is I'll be hungry all the time. And I don't like that feeling,
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing in the world. And like, just thinking about it makes me a little bit irritable, honestly.
Oh yeah.
So
what is the opposite for you, Jordan? You never hungry?
I mean, now I'm really not, but when I was, when I'm burning a ton of calories, like when I'm working, like I have to keep donuts in the car so that I'm not a dick when I walk through the door. Like I will, because I'm stuck in traffic for 45 minutes, man, an hour, I'm getting hungry. So I have to like,
fucking hate you.
As I'm pulling up to the house, I hammer back a couple chocolate donuts so that way I can not be a dick. Because otherwise I walk through the door just like an asshole.
He doesn't slam a couple beers to calm down. He eats a couple fucking donuts.
Yeah, man. I have to like, because otherwise I come through the door, I'm a dick, and then I have to like eat and then apologize, and then I'm on the back foot for the rest of the night. Like I can't have that. So
yeah.
Oh man, that's too good. That's too good. They need to put you in one of those Snickers commercials.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I got the metabolism of a hummingbird, like 2 or 3 hours, and I'm just like ripping through it.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is though, like, so when I was fighting, like I boxed same day weigh-ins at like 141 pounds. The last tournament I was getting ready for, I was actually going to compete at 132, and I was, on my way down. Like, I drop weight, like, if I go keto, I mean, and I can live at that deficit, 1,100 calories, 1,400 calories, and I'll consistently lose about half a pound a day.
Wow.
Especially with training and road work and everything else. So like, I can lean out. Like, it's been hard. I'm up about 10 pounds from when I started really focusing on trying to lift more and eat better like 6 months ago. Like, it's hard for me to put that weight on, but if I wanted to, I could change my diet, probably compete at 141 again, no problem.
What are you at now?
I was 158 the other morning when we were talking about it. 158 dry. Woke up, jumped on the scale, took a look. So, and that's dehydrated and everything else. I sweat when I sleep, man. I'll lose a couple pounds overnight.
Yeah. I'll float a few pounds. Depends. Like, I'll go to bed like some days, like on Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
After Easter or whatever, I went to bed well over 205. Well over 205. And I yeah. And I'll float like 6 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I'll wake up like 199, 198. So, like, me right now, right before we started this, I weighed myself. I was 197.6.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you guys make me feel terrible about myself, but that's okay.
With your numbers?
No, I mean, I will have like a fluctuation from day one to day two, like that'll happen, but I generally don't overeat a ton. So like on Easter, I ate regular, and I made a delicious Moroccan lamb stew thing, and it was great, and I ate a ton of it, and I actually weighed less when I went to bed than when I woke up by like a half a pound. And but also I shit like 4 times that day, so that'll do it. I clear out, so
Yeah.
there's that too. But I don't know, man. I don't live with a scale, so like I didn't have a scale until Jake gave me a scale on whatever day he gave me a scale on Saturday. I haven't had a scale in my house in 15 years. I avoid them regularly because I have if I have a scale around, I'll always want to step on it, and I don't need to worry about that. If my clothes fit fine and I feel good, I'm not too worried about it. But like the last few years, my weight has just drastically like increased. My metabolism slowed down worse than it already was, and I'm getting old, I'm dying, so that kind of thing happens, and whatever. But we'll get it figured out. And I have kind of like a reverse body image problem. I always think I look great even when I look fat. I'm always like, oh man, I look good today. Oh, all right, feeling good, And then I catch like a glimpse in one of those weird angled mirrors. I'm like, oh shit, is that me? I don't look like that. Just looked at myself before. I looked way better in the bathroom. I have like that reverse weird body image issue. I always feel like I look great, so whatever. But when you're when you got a face like this, it's hard not to be like, we're good, so
that's it.
It's tough.
Well, and I'm sure you probably haven't thrown any weight around, haven't done any lifting in years, but I bet you could probably still go under a bench and you could probably put some numbers up. You just got that body type. Maybe.
I wish I had some free weights, just here to do it. The only thing I have here that I think I'm going to start doing is I have a splitting wall, and my father-in-law has some bigger logs he wants split. So I think I might go out and split some wood. But really that only works out my shoulders, so. But when Sarah and I had this house and our main source of heat was our wood stove, I was fucking splitting wood all the time. It was was terrible. I got so sick of splitting wood. But some weeks when we would get new rounds that would get delivered, it's time to go split this wood. Like doing that 2 or 3 nights in a row, I'd go inside and I'd just like flex a little bit, and you could see the difference just in your traps after splitting wood for 3 days. It's like, oh man, start to feel good. So.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, right, you're actually using pretty much almost your whole body, right? You got to use your core, you got to use your abs, you got to use your back, you got to use your arms, you got to use your hips and your legs to get the swing. So it's a great workout. I mean, at the end of the day, right, for you, it's just about getting you to move more. Like that's like we were talking. Like you say, you do that little loop with your son. It's about a mile.
It's a little more than a mile. Actually, today we started going a different way, and today we did 2.2 miles.
Okay.
So like working from home has made it way more easy for me to get that in, because when I was working at the office, I'd get home, I'd have a few minutes to hang out, then it was time to cook dinner. Now I can finish working, we can go for a walk, we can take as long as we want, and it's no big deal. But I don't go walking, like I'm not like power walking or anything. I'm not trying to just destroy shit, but we go for a walk. It's nice. We do that most days, and if I stick to trying to skip rope or something in the garage and I do that enough, I think I'll drop some pounds, especially if I maintain my not drinking soda.
Yeah.
Which hasn't been doing great, because I was like, well, if we're starting this thing on the podcast, I can drink soda for another day. So here's an empty
shotgunning
empty 20-ouncer of the Dr. Pepper here, but I have to go out with the bang. You know what? Really, this is what happened. Jake, you'll love this. So today, I went to Fred Meyer just to get some briquettes. I was just trying to get some charcoal so I could grill up some burgers, because tonight I made lamb burgers. Ooh, they were so good. I just want you guys to know, ground lamb makes the best burger, hands down, without question. It's the best, and it was delicious. But when I went in there, you know what they have right now is on sale Easter candy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So. You know Lindt truffles, like those little, they come in like the little red foil. It's a milk chocolate with the truffle center. They're fucking delicious, right? They're delicious. But at Easter, they put them out in a fucking egg. And so it's like a giant Lindt truffle in the shape of an egg. They're so big and they're delicious, but they're like, they're like typically $1.25 to $1.50 each. They're not cheap, so you might buy one or two. Man, I went into Fred Meyer. You know how much those motherfuckers are at Fred Meyer right now?
Like 50% off, right?
Dude, 38 cents.
Yeah.
38 cents. So I just fucking grabbed 2 giant handfuls and shoved them in my pockets and went up and bought them. I couldn't help it, man. I couldn't pass up the deal. The deal was too good. And then they have these little like Cadbury egg style ones that are Oreo. So the outside is the milk chocolate and the inside is the white chocolate with the cookie. It's fucking great. And those are 30 cents. I couldn't pass it up. It was rough, man. It was a rough go.
You like shit to be like super sweet and like super rich, and fuck that. Not
always.
I can't do fucking any Oreo fake shit. If I'm Oreos, got to be Oreos. Okay, any of that cookies and cream fucking candy bars, can't do it.
Bro, this is so much smaller than a full candy bar. It's a little egg. That's the point. It's good, man. I'm telling you.
What it is, I don't know. Can't do it.
Whatever. What's your candy bar of choice?
Candy bar?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going either Snickers or whatchamacallit.
Snickers is pretty fucking sweet, bro.
Nah,
I love Snickers, but it's pretty sweet.
There's it's different.
Yeah, of course. That's why I dig to Take 5. Take 5's delicious. It's got pretzels, it's got peanut butter. Yeah, it's great.
But it's too salty. See?
It's good, man. But we do agree. I would rather eat a chocolate chip cookie than eat a candy bar anyway.
Yeah. My aunt, she made on Easter, she made like a huge batch of cookies. Like I'm talking, like she literally bought ingredients just to make cookies for me. Right? I took it was a gallon bag full of these cookies, and I ate every single one of them that night. Like it was over 30 cookies, and it was only because Mixley dared me, and she said I wouldn't be able to finish it. So that's why I tweeted out that whole fucking I am challenging diabetes every fucking day. I'm fucking thriving right now. Diabetes ain't got shit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, do my feet go numb sometimes? Sure. Do my feet tingle? Yeah. Are my toes kind of black? Maybe. But the thing is, I'm still kicking and I'm breathing.
Well, and you're the half black attack, so your toes being black, that's fine because it's from the waist down, so we're good.
Right at the bottom half.
You just got to not get a case of the sugars, man. You'll be all right.
Dude,
you'll be all right. I'm
okay.
The doctor told me I was pre-diabetic, and then I just started watching my diet just the tiniest bit, and I went in and got my blood sugar checked, and everything was cool. They were like, "Oh, your blood sugar looks great," but what doesn't look great is my liver. So the doctor was like, you're overweight when your fucking liver has a small layer of fat around it.
Yep.
So that's my problem now. So I take some supplements to try to help, but I think this exercising and weight loss will help me out.
I ate this whole thing last night. Look how big that is to my head.
And this dude's talking shit to me about eating sweet stuff, and you ate a giant Reese's egg, the whole thing last night. That's to be split between 4 people. How many servings in it?
There's 6.
Read it on the back. 6 servings. That's for 6 people, Jake.
How many calories? Look at that smile.
There's 6 servings. 140 calories, 6 servings, right? Laid right here in bed, ate the whole goddamn thing.
Dude, you could have eaten a pint of ice cream.
What makes you think I stopped there, sir? What? You're over here talking about, do you know about the Eastern? Hey, buddy, I got a whole bag of candy in the fucking kitchen right now. I got Snickers. I got Twix. I got 3 Musketeers. I got fucking, what's that other one? Babe Ruth.
You better hope that Mixley's brother comes over and eats all your fucking candy, or you're not going to lose any weight.
Dude, I'd fight him. That's not there's certain. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Go ahead, cruise around, eat some chips or whatever. That's cool. You eat my fucking candy. We're fighting. That's a scrap.
Fight on site.
That's a fucking scrap, dude.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So, what about? Not so much consequences, but what about a reward for the winner? What are we gonna do here? What do we win?
Do you guys have ideas? Because I had an idea.
If you have an idea, throw it out there.
Yeah. What do you got?
So what I was thinking was, since we're broskies, right? After all this is done, I was kind of hoping that this whole quarantine thing would be squashed by then too. Is that we each pick our favorite restaurant that we have, right? I'm sure you have your go-to spot, Dave, right? It's what Aldani or what's that place?
That's Howla.
Yeah, that one. My place is Jackrabbit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you got a spot too where they're kind of more upscale, but it's it's great food, right?
Yeah.
And so the winner, I would be at this feast while you two split the check.
I'm down.
There. Yeah.
I'm 100% down.
I was thinking something along the same lines, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So all 3 of us are going out. It's not really gonna all cost us too much because it's 3 of us and it's getting split 2 ways still.
Just hope I'm not the winner because I eat big, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, and I mean, so no, well, not that I think anyone's gonna be cheating, but no jumping on day before weigh-ins or whatever. No jumping in the sauna, so, sucking off 6-7 pounds that way. I won't sit there and pound back, a couple gallons of water before I jump on the scale. We can be cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, look, I think we're all fucking, I trust you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys trust me. I think the way that the weigh-in can go is, we can do it the honor system. We can do it live, but it's first thing in the morning after your first piss.
Yep.
Yeah, just take a picture of the scale and text it to our group text. Whatever it is.
9:30 or whatever in the morning.
Sure. I'm up hella early.
Yeah.
So it's fine with me. Today I was up at 5. So,
Yeah.
Perfect.
joys of parenthood, Jake. Getting up at 5.
Dude, I wake up every fucking day at like 4:30. I don't know why.
Maybe it's because you put back 6 serving Reese's eggs before bed.
Well,
Your
it could
stomach's
be.
like, get up.
Look, I'll tell you guys my routine, right? So I've been doing 1 meal a day for about a week now. I'll eat at 8, right? 8 p.m. is my dinner. I'll gorge myself, right? I'll have me some sweets. I'll probably be done by 9:30. Get in bed. I'll pass out. I wake up at about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So my eating window is 8 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then that's when I go back into the kitchen. I'll usually make me like an ice cream sandwich of some sort, or I made a dump cake the other day, and then
You made a fucking dump cake in the middle of the night. You went to sleep, woke up, and made a dump cake.
No, it was already made. I didn't fucking.
I thought your degenerate ass got up at you went to sleep, got up at 10. You were like, oh man, you know what I need to do? I need to throw a bunch of shit in a pan and throw it in the oven.
Yeah.
So what's a dump cake? Help me out here.
You don't know what a dump cake is? You need
Never
to
heard of it.
You go watch that dump cake infomercial, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can find it on YouTube.
All it is just like take like your favorite, pie filling or fruit filling, right? Cans of like I did apple canned apples, right? Dump that in there, and then you buy some cake mix, whatever cake mix you want, like a yellow cake mix. You pour that on top, and then you just throw in some butter on top of it. Throw it in the oven and bake it. So it kind of comes out like a crumble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does sound good.
It is. It's fucking delicious. And guess what, guys? No diabetes still.
Well, they have a toehold. They haven't taken over the foot yet, but they're holding ground.
That's probably why, like, when he put me in that toehold, I was like, how dare you, you silly fool. Don't you understand I'm battling diabetes every day? Like, this toehold of yours is inferior.
I'm always paranoid. Ever since the doctor was like, oh, man, you're pre-diabetic. You better take this seriously. And for the most part, I do. But, man, I have tendonitis pretty bad. And at least this is what the doctor told me. So when I sit down to draw, because I draw a lot, I'll sit down to draw, and within 10 minutes, my whole hand goes numb, completely numb, to the point where I don't know if I'm holding the pencil well enough, so I end up gripping it really tight, So my hand will go numb, and then that happens so often that I started getting paranoid. Man, I get do I have diabetes? Is it getting me?
Is that a sign? Diabetes really though is going on?
Yeah, numbness in your hands and feet. That's a real sign. So I was really stressed out, man. And then the last time I went to the doctor, they took my blood sugar in the at the place, and the kid was like, "Oh yeah, man, your blood sugar looks really good." I was like, "Oh, sweet, that's good.
Thank God.
Good to hear. Thank God." But I mean. Whatever. I'm fortunate I don't drink alcohol. I don't have that to turn into sugar. I do, I mean, lately I've been putting back some sweets, but I typically avoid the sweets. With the exception of soda. That's my one thing. But
what the fuck's your advice, Jordan?
Oh man.
Exercise.
No, that's the thing. So real quick, and it's just kind of an aside, Jake can attest, I'm a very technical coach because I was a very technical fighter. I only had a couple of fights, but I was on the mats sparring, training with the fight team for a decade. I was always very technical in everything I did because I was never in shape. I hated doing strength and conditioning, man. So you can either be in shape or you can just be technical enough to not have to try to muscle people, to not gas yourself out and everything else. So I hate exercising. The fact that I do it for a living is kind of ironic, but no, I'd say for me, man, I will slay chips and salsa is my kryptonite, and then beer. I love beer.
I was gonna say you look like a cheese nips guy.
How dare you?
Not cheese its, but cheese nips.
Right.
Nip guy.
I'll go savory instead of sweet, but chips and salsa is my thing. I was a baker for a long time too. So like,
that's
yeah,
right.
so
How the
cookies,
I know what a
pastries,
dunk is.
dude.
Just fresh.
My last couple of fights, man, I was working as a baker just because the schedule worked out really well for training. I'd work 3 or 4 in the morning until 11 or noon, go home, take a nap, get up, go for a run, run errands, do whatever, and then go train at night, and then go home, just go straight to bed at like 7 or 8 o'clock, and then wake up and do it again. And then when I was getting ready for fights, like I could just not have dinner because I'm so tired from training. I would eat just enough like chicken and fresh greens to like not be hungry feeling, and then just go pass out, wake up, and repeat. So yeah, I mean,
and you didn't care about being an asshole back then, right? Come home hungry, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh no, I was such a dick, man. I remember my ex, like I was just being a dick because my goal was to have 10 boxing matches,
Yeah.
And I remember after the second one, making weight and everything else, and I fought, I won, everything went great, but she looked at me and she's like, "You want to do this 8 more times?" I was like, "Oof, yeah, I can hear and feel like just constantly just like what a hungry dick I'm being."
Yeah. So let me get this straight. All right. So you bake, right? You know how to bake.
Yeah.
You never thought maybe I should somehow, how do I get through to my fighter, right? Well, Jake's a fat fuck. Maybe if I made a deal with him, was like, "Hey Jake, guess what, dude? I used to bake. I know some shit. If you get your shit together, I'll reward you with some fucking cinnamon rolls or something. You probably would get a lot more out of me, dude."
That's good to know.
No, this is why when I stop fighting, I'm gonna become the world's greatest fucking trainer ever because I'm gonna get to my guys psychologically. I ain't gonna teach them really shit how to fight. They're gonna have to figure that out on their own. But I'm gonna motivate
them. That's perfect. I thought you swerved us there. I thought you're gonna be like, "I'm gonna be the world's greatest cook. I'm gonna be the world's greatest chef."
No.
Nope. Just a trainer who knows what gets to people.
I'm just gonna tell people what to do, Like, hey, you want to be a champion? Don't fucking lose, I had a coach tell me that once. Yeah, Rudy Garza turned it into a shirt. I was like, "That's a shirt, man. That's a fucking shirt." And they turned it into a shirt. Actually, I think what happened is Rudy Garza, he was saying that he was like teaching a class, and he's like, all you guys want to be fucking champions. You want to be best. Well, don't fucking lose, right? I just started laughing in the class, and then I was like, "Oh, it's a fucking shirt." Then Austin Springer's like, "Oh, that is a shirt." It made a bunch of like Rudy Nose shirts that said, "You want to be a champion, don't fucking lose." So he jumped on that before. I hope Rudy got a piece of that at least. But,
yeah.
So fun
Who
knows?
I can speaking from experience, there's not a lot of money to be made in the t-shirt game. You want to think there is, but you got to sell a lot of fucking shirts to make some money.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ain't it the truth?
Yeah, man.
Before I forget, because I feel like we're coming up on an hour here. Oh, we are at an hour. So I am doing Submission Underground once again.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, as of today. So that's why I'm gonna have a little head start on you fucks. Because I gotta make I gotta be 190 pounds. So that's already, 8 pounds I gotta lose.
Whatever, 8 pounds. You could lose 8 pounds for Submission Underground like that.
April 26th?
Huh? Yeah, the 26th. So
that's gonna be who all's on that card. I know I saw Vanderford and Boogeyman, which is gonna be a really good match. Like I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy, but like I'm excited for that.
Yeah, just because Austin's so strong and has such great wrestling. But man, I don't.
Bro, he is gonna, dude. I know people tell me not to sleep on Austin, but man, he is about to get wrapped up. I'll put money on it. He will get wrapped. Shields is not as good at jiu-jitsu as Boogeyman. Jake Shields is a good wrestler. That's why Jake Shields is like, I have American jiu-jitsu. Dude, Jake Shields is good at jiu-jitsu, but Jake Shields, I've watched plenty of his submission matches. That dude is wrestling your ass. That's what he's doing.
He got mount on Hendo.
What was that?
I said Jake Shields got mount on Hendo. Never let that fact die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
okay.
Dan Henderson, he walks around like he's got a 2x4 shoved up his ass. Like I'm surprised he can even walk at this point in his life. And like old man strength aside and all of the steroids aside, like Jake Shields should be getting mount on Dan Henderson. Maybe not at that time, but whatever. Nevertheless,
don't forget
Boogeyman's putting Vanderford out. I know everyone tells me not to sleep on Austin, and I want to believe that, but man, this is a step up.
Yeah, this is here. So like people, MMA, there is jiu-jitsu in it, right? For those who know, this isn't our sport. So like, for Boogeyman, that's all he does is roll every fucking day. Ah man, it's gonna be fun. Like, here's what I think will happen. I think Austin rides it out until overtime, but I think Boogie's gonna submit him in overtime.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, dude, he's just so long and lanky, and then let's say he starts on Austin's back. He's gonna put in a body triangle, and it's gonna be one of those, I don't know. He's one of those weird ass 10th planet guys too.
Yeah, man. I could see him finishing it in regulation, and if they do go to overtime, I think Austin has a little bit of an advantage in that he knows he just has to explode, especially if it's from the back. Like if Richie has his back and they go for it, he could potentially explode fast enough that he gets out, or if Boogeyman decides instead of putting on the body triangle, he wants to use his off leg to get the arm and pin the arm down so he can get the choke in more easily. Like that's a mistake, and Austin will for sure spin out it. Like he'll explode out of that position. But dude, does he go spiderweb and go for the armbar position if they go to overtime?
I bet so.
Man, I don't see it getting out of regulation. I don't. But that's exciting. But I think the main event is Craig Jones and Vinny Magalhaes, right?
Yeah.
And that's a match I want to see.
And then it's like Ellenberger versus like Chico or some shit. I don't know the dude's name.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying, didn't Jake Ellenberger just lose to Ben Egley at Submission Underground? Why the fuck is Ben Egley not back in that position? Bring him back.
They might have asked him, who knows? He might have something else going on. He might not,
Maybe, man. But I'm like, I don't know. I saw Ellenberger back on there, and I know he's the bigger name, but Ben doesn't get the credit he's deserved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. I was actually the other day. Someone sent me an article. They sent me a link to an article that I wrote about Ben Egley back when he was like 6-0. And it's one of my favorite things I've ever written, and it was it had this really smooth outro. I loved it. I was really into it. But so I reread it, and then I was like looking back at it, like, okay, he was 6-0, and even back then I was like, okay, give this guy 4 or 5 more fights, he'll be in a big promotion, and that never really happened for him. And you go and I was looking at his record now, he's 12-3, and I get it. His 3 losses kind of, one of them was kind of like was a bummer loss at a Titan event where he just got wrestled, like completely wrestle fucked, and I don't think he was ready for that. And then his other 2 losses were not good. They were not good. But this guy has 12 wins, all finishes. Yeah. All finishes.
No, he's fucking legit. He's tough as shit. He's great. But there's a couple things that are against him. His age. He's up there, right?
Well, he just signed with Iridium, so I'm kind of hoping that'll help, because I just don't think he was connected before. I don't know if he even had a management, if he had anybody who. I know your opinion on them. I'm just saying, at least now he's got somebody whose phone is gonna ring.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's why he did it.
I feel like he was with Iridium already. He was with Iridium when I was originally.
So he was, but you know what happened? He was with Iridium when Steve Valentine was with Iridium, and Ben is so loyal that when Steve was told they no longer needed him, Ben stuck with Steve and did not stick with Iridium. And then he ends up signing with this management company from Hawaii, and that didn't really pan out for him. And now he signed back with Iridium. I mean, I say it didn't pan out for him. He did get that fight for the ACB or ABC over in Slovakia or wherever, and then
did pan out.
No, but it's a big fight, so it probably had a decent paycheck for him. And then he had the 2 fights or 3 fights for that promotion that he was the champ of for a minute there. That Final
FFC.
Fight Championships
Yep.
in the Fight Dome in Vegas, which they could have had a bigger. I feel like that promotion could have had a bigger impact if it was easier to watch their fights. Like their social media presence was hot garbage, and they had to deal with NBC Sports. You got to deal with a real channel, and I can't find out how to watch your fucking fights, and then I got to watch them on delay like a month later. Bitch, put that shit online. Like this is 2020. Put it on the goddamn internet. Get a Facebook channel going. Something. Do something. Anything.
Well, I mean, not to like rip on Ben here, but yeah, he's made several bad choices throughout his career. You know,
Yeah.
he stopped training over at Gracie. You know, he stopped training. With all of us who, went on to Bellator, went on to fucking whatever. Um, and it's honestly that's what fighting is, man. It doesn't matter how good you are, how great. It's about who you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the world works.
It's who the fuck you know. And Chell was out there, he was campaigning for him, but at the same time, you're not in the room with us. So, Chell's not necessarily going to be like, hey,
He's not going out on a limb.
Yeah, exactly. So, that kind of bit him in the ass, I think. And, he does a lot of his training like kind of by himself. Like him and his little buddy, they do a bunch of videos and roll around and shit, hug each other.
He's always been doing that. In fact, that article I was just talking about, that was kind of what it was about, was that he sort of had to put a plan together that worked for him because he had a son, he had a wife, he had things going on, and life didn't allow him to have that regular training schedule, and so he just kind of did like a mix and match, go here, go there. I mean, that's why you see pictures of him from, back in the day when he would, like Jake was saying, that he would be at Rose City, and then there's photos that pop up of him at Impact Jiu-Jitsu. There's pictures of him fucking everywhere, you know what I mean? And he's one of those dudes that like nobody hates him. Nobody's mad if he's around. He's such a nice guy, man. So we'll see what happens, man. I think signing with Iridium is smart because they have two, right now Jason House has Ricky and Journey both looking good, and that's going to give you, they like what they see in both of those guys, and so you're going to have a little bit of push in that you could probably get him on the Tuesday Night Contender Series. And if he goes out there and he has some razzle dazzle and he pulls off a submission that makes people go, ooh, exciting, then hey man, like more power to him. I hope that's what happens. I love Ben Egley. He's a good dude. I hope that works out. See what happens, man. But he should be on that card. I'm excited you're on the card. Who are you? You haven't said who is it you're going up against, Jake, at Submission Underground? Do you know?
I don't know. Some dude. Who cares?
Some dude. All right.
Does it fucking matter? Who cares? I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Just another name on the list.
It doesn't matter. Look, dude, it's fucking jiu-jitsu. I don't care. Like I don't care. Like, that's
way to sell it, bro. Way to sell it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, we're all in fucking quarantine, supposedly. How much training are we really getting? Right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a shit show, right? Don't expect me to go out there and pull a fucking X guard with a fucking Umoplata flying Z fucking up your asshole. Not happening. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do what I did last time. Have some fun. Flop around a little bit. Look like shit. Hopefully get a win.
Getting another cartwheel pass or
if it's there, I did pretty much almost everything I told everyone I was going to do. Minus I wanted to do an Imanari roll, but I couldn't because homeboy was just grabbing on my head. So I was like, I'm going to go for a flying armbar. Didn't work out for me. So but it was fun, He farted. I called him out on farting. He was so serious. He was so serious the whole time.
You should mention to Chael that he should mic the cage so that people can hear you guys, because that shit would be hilarious.
That's a good idea.
Well, I just saw today for the first time my match, which I look like hot garbage. But today I watched it for the first time, and he's like, Smith is pandering to the crowd where there is no crowd. I was like, no. I was yelling out how he fucking farted in my mouth. That's what I was doing. There was no pandering. I was I was fucking shocked that he farted. I was like, only this would happen to me. Like, why? Like, and you can actually hear him fart the second time. You hear the, like you can hear it if you watch the video on YouTube.
Are you gonna wear a singlet again?
Yeah. Definitely.
Can we get a Rider in the Fighter singlet printed for you? How much does that cost?
I don't know.
Or do you got to wear a Pokemon one?
I was gonna say maybe a different Pokemon.
I have a different Pokemon, right? I was thinking about doing Pokemon again, but I was like, should I do that, or should I give some love to the throne? You know?
If you have a Dethrone singlet?
Hell yeah, I do. I got 2. They hooked me up, man. I love Dethrone. They're fucking great. I just I don't know why. I don't plug them enough. I should.
You should.
I feel like I should rock some Dethrone shit.
Yeah, dude.
I fuck with them before, man. They're cool.
That dude Dan from Dethrone is the realest guy. That dude is legit. Love him. Yeah, man. Well, if you're not going to do that, let's get you a Rider in the Fighter branded singlet. Cause
look at him.
Huh?
Look at him. He's just yawning up a city, just fucking spreading.
I mean, all this jiu-jitsu talk. At least it's not football talk.
You son of a bitch. You come into our house and then you insult the things we love?
Well, I don't love jiu-jitsu.
Unbelievable. No, but we love football. We love football.
It's true.
Come on, man. And we have the NFL draft coming up. This is gonna be a big deal. It's all gonna be remote. You know. Hey Jake, what's the name?
7th. It's gonna be great.
What's the name of the third Watt brother?
Derek.
See, this is why he's not famous, because he doesn't have an initial. He's not a TJ or a JJ. There's some new show on my wife was telling me about, and it's JJ and TJ Watt. And I was like, did you know there's a third Watt brother? She was like, no. And I was like, yeah, and he's in the NFL. She's like, what? Like, yeah, he's in the NFL. Not only is he in the NFL, he just signed as a free agent to the Steelers, and he's a Pro Bowler. She's like, what? I said, yeah, and he's a fullback. And my wife loves a fullback.
Your wife knows so much more about football than I do.
Yeah,
well, my wife
I'm just watching her eyes glaze over right now. I'm just like,
trying to decide, is Reggie Watt? Is he one of them?
Reggie Watt?
Reggie Watts with an S. No, not one of the Watt brothers.
No, yeah, the Watts are white, but that's all right.
Yeah, no, not in the same world. Although Reggie Watt once did take he had like kind of center stage in one of the most amazing Super Bowl commercials. It was that Budweiser Super Bowl commercial that like it like went on throughout the thing, and it was like a big party. You guys remember this?
Oh, you're talking about just recent?
Maybe 3 Super Bowls ago, something like that. I can't remember. Maybe 4. I don't know. But Reggie Watt did do a Super Bowl commercial. That's his one tie to football, because I don't suspect he's much of a football guy. Just throwing that out there.
I don't even know who he is, to be honest. But
you would love him. You would love him. You would love Reggie Watt.
Let's do a quick recap of the rules and all that shit, and then yeah.
All right. So it's for every pound I gain, you guys are trying to lose 7 each.
Yep.
And we got 1 month, 28 days.
Yeah, we're going to the 12th of next month, right? That'll be our final weigh-in day.
Yep. And then the 2 losers buy dinner for the winner, I guess, wherever the winner wants to go eat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say your weight? Did you? So you guys got my weight. I never got your weights.
158.
I was 198, but I mean, if you want to count my Easter weight, it was 205. But.
Yeah. All right. I mean, we can. How about we put you at an even 200?
This is go 198.
Okay, 198, and
I don't want to cheat. And then when I beat you guys, like, well, blah, blah, blah.
And I don't remember what I was 248 or 246.
You're 247.
247. There you go. 247.8 or something like that. Yeah, I had a feeling I'd come in right around 250, but
you called it.
But I will say, from the holiday season, I'm down, because I stepped on the scale at work and I was like 262, and I'm like, holy shit, how'd I get so fat? And my boss, like my boss's boss, I should say, this dude's a big guy, and he stepped on the scale and weighed the same as me, and I was like, God damn it, man! It's so frustrating carrying. Like when you're the size you are, and everybody thinks you're like 25 pounds lighter than you are. It's really very annoying.
Yeah,
Like,
tell me about it, dude.
yeah, you get it. Not Jordan. You know what you should have done, Jordan? You know what
What?
you should have just like not tried to gain weight this whole week, bro. Like you could have started lower than.
I thought about it. I legitimately could have started at like 150. I did just like a half a weight cut on a work trip down to LA because I was working with some boxing trainers down there, and I knew it was going to be like sweaty shirtless picture time. So I purposefully cut like 6-7 pounds, pretty easy, over about 3 or 4 days, and then got the picture I needed, and then just went and ate my face off at Korean barbecue and put it all right back on.
Can't wait.
That's the best. I don't know how you guys do that cutting weight shit. I hate cutting weight so much. Last time I tried to cut weight, I was in the 8th grade, and that was the last time I tried to cut weight ever. And I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah,
There's no way I could get to 152. You can suck my dick. That is never happening. I don't think I ever weighed, like the last time I weighed that low at that time was probably 5th grade. I don't know. I don't understand people with all this weight cutting, man. I fucking hate. I hate cutting weight. Ugh, it's the worst.
I'll tell you what, man. I lost all my sympathy for it. Like Sunshine's great, but I am not gonna be there when he cuts weight again. I'm just not gonna. Sorry, man.
He's such a bitch. That's all I know about is
he
how
turns into the world's biggest asshole like a week out, and then when it comes time to like rubber hit the road, get it off of him. Like he does it smart, he does it right. He's got a great nutritionist, but man, he kind of starts ordering people around a little bit, kind of gets real grumpy, and I'm like, I'm just not going to be there for this next one. Nope, no, man. Good luck.
I love
it. It's so funny because that weight cut, he was posting things online like, this is the easiest weight cut. This weight cut's going great. I'm feeling fucking wonderful. And then the next, like an hour later, I start getting texts from Jordan that are like, look at this fucking guy. He's so dramatic. He's laying on the ground. Looking like what's that fucking dude from The Ultimate Fighter that could never cut the weight? Oh man, what was that fucking guy's name?
Oh, Joe Riggs.
No, not Joe Riggs. Joe Riggs.
Talking about the guy. Put me back in.
Right. Yeah, that guy.
What the fuck was his name? I don't know. I know who you're talking about.
But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that guy. That guy was the worst. You know that yesterday, I think it was the anniversary of Babalu holding that choke for too long that got him kicked out of the UFC.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man, I saw it. It wasn't that bad. Speaking of fat, though, have you seen Babalu? Jesus Christ. That fool put on some weight.
All right.
Damn. Well, that's what fighters do, man.
Well, Dave, we were just gonna recap and then we're gonna end this.
Sorry.
Like 6 different tangents, sir.
It's Jordan's fault. He brought up Sunshine.
Hey guys, we can talk about Sunshine and his weight cuts all we want if we want to. I don't know, man. I'm pretty fucking good.
I mean, I gotta start eating, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go have one last meal.
All right.
Awesome. Might go hit the Jack in the Box or something. Yeah. Well, then Jake and I will be back next week. We can talk a little fighting news. I'm sure something will fucking happen. Dana White will buy an island. Somebody will do something. Can you fucking not, Jake, with this shit? God, I hate you so much. Oh my God, we haven't even started yet. I'm so annoyed with you.
I didn't know we could do that. I just was like, oh, what is this fucking thing?
All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of The Writer and the Fighter. If you want to get in touch with any of us, you can reach out to Jake on all social media. He is at UberSmitty. I am at David Golden MMA on Twitter. Jordan is at On Target Training on everything.
On Target Training PDX.
PDX. There we go. In stereo. On Target Training PDX.
_Target_.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't the best move, but
it sure wasn't.
Such is life.
I'm still not that good at the Instagram.
Change it.
No, but you have a good Instagram, so whatever.
All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you guys.
Everybody,
have a great day.
We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Bye.
Keep your tits dry.
You fucking guys.